Bill's Bake Shop will make you happy. Bill Cast is the owner, and he and his staff keep the tradition going with all those bakery items that you remember as a kid. Just to name a few items, Bill makes cream sticks, cinnamon rolls, bear claws, cream horns, cannoli, cakes, pies, cookies, bread, pizza, and so much more. Bill's Bake Shop, located at 228 North Liberty Street in the Mahoningtown section of Newcastle, is open Tuesday through Saturday, 7 to 5, and Sunday, 7 to 2, closed on Monday. Bill's, where smiles are everywhere. Call 724-654-4223.
When I'm on the go, I take NCTV45 with me.
Give Mangina Outside Services a call when you want a yard project done and done right. Bud Mangina is the owner, and he and his staff will do just about any yard project, and he also does hauling of your trash and unwanted items. Mangina Outside Services covers the greater Newcastle area with very affordable prices. Tell Bud you heard this message on NCTV45, and you'll receive a 10% discount. Call 724-614-3658. That's 724-614-3658. It's Bud's Flowers in downtown Newcastle for fine gifts and more. It's Flowers, 120 East Washington Street, Newcastle, with a wide variety of flowers for any occasion. Call Bud's Flowers, 724-652-7727, or toll free from anywhere, 1-800-443-7726. It's Bud's Flowers in downtown Newcastle.
Keep watching NCTV45 for Cooking the Castle. You're going to love it.
We have a great relationship with Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors in downtown Newcastle at 210 East Washington Street. And whenever you watch Focus NC, my wardrobe is furnished by Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors.
EAS, Emergency Answering Services, can get that call when you can't. We are a trusted answering service who operates 24/7. Locally owned and operated. When you need help answering your phones, call EAS. We'll get the message to you.
To see what's going on NCTV45, watch our viewer's guide.
This is a special presentation of NCTV45.
Hi, I'm Gary West for NCTV45, and this is a special presentation. I want to welcome to the program David Lynch. David, welcome.
Thank you.
And David, along with a few others, will be performing the complete works of William Shakespeare. That'll be July 18th, 19th, and 20th. And that'll be happening at 11 South Mill Street in downtown Newcastle. And that's, of course, the Refresh Stage. Is that what it's called, David?
Mm-hmm. Right at the Riverplex.
At the Riverplex. Great place. We encourage everyone to check it out. And that'll be Friday and Saturday, 7 o'clock performance, and a 2 o'clock matinee on Sunday. So that's the 18th, 19th, and 20th. And we'll give you that information again at the end of the program. Now, I should remind everybody, or let everybody know, that we're going to be preempting Cook in the Castle for this week, but you'll see back-to-back episodes next Wednesday and Thursday. That'll be July 13th and 14th. Very popular program here at NCTV45. Back to Shakespeare. So, David, how did you get involved performing the works of Shakespeare?
Well, the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged was written by the Reduced Shakespeare Company, specifically by Adam Long, Daniel Singer, and Jess Winfield. And it's a cool play. It's 3 actors go through every play Shakespeare ever wrote in about 97 minutes. And I saw it years ago, just on tape. There's a version that's on YouTube, and I I thought it would be really cool to do. So this year I got in touch with the people at the Riverplex and decided it'd be a good show to put on for Newcastle. So we got the rights, and a couple months later we're putting it on. So.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's David Lynch. I'm a local actor and director, and I also work in a sandwich shop, so that actually pays the bills. But when I can, I like to get on stage and perform. So
you have a couple other actors that are going to be with you. Would you like to acknowledge them?
Yeah, one is my brother, actually, Derek Lynch. I kind of roped him into it. And the two others are James Falba and Dean Craven. They're both pretty skilled, and they've been a lot of help. So
we're going to talk a little bit about Shakespeare, just in case you'd like to refresh your memory. Maybe when you were younger, you studied Shakespeare somewhere in school, and we want to refresh your memory. Or some of you don't know anything about Shakespeare, this will be helpful to you. David, when was Shakespeare born?
Shakespeare was born in 1564.
So that means if he was living today, he would be 450 years old. And I guess he was born in November. So coming up November, there'll be the big 450 birthday bash in England. And so where was he born?
The town of Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire. So.
And do you know what his full name is?
I don't know that. You told me that earlier, but I forget it.
Well, it's hard to remember. Yeah, I mean, most people don't know his full name, and I had to write it down because it is hard to remember. It's Gulielmus Filius Johannes Shakespeare. That was his full name at birth. And do you know when he passed away?
Was it 1616?
That's correct. Yeah, 1616. He was 52 years old when he passed away. And back in Elizabethan times, that was considered pretty old. 52 was old back in those days. If you lived 35 to 40, that was average. He made it to 52. And that gave him more time for more of his literary works, of course. How about his married life?
I know he got married in 1582. I don't know if he had a good marriage or not. Hopefully it was all right. But he married Anne Hathaway. Not the one in Les Mis, the different one. That's
right. And there's two names that were on record for his wife. Anne Hathaway, as Dave just mentioned, and Anne Whately. But the historians believe that was one and the same person. And did he have children?
He did. 3, right?
3 children. Do you know when were Shakespeare's lost years? Which means, lost years means basically the historians believe that that's when he was preparing for more work, more plays and poems and things of this nature.
I don't know about those, no. You're going to have to field that one, I think. You have here as 1578, 1582, and 1585 and 1592.
Yeah, so those are considered the lost years of Shakespeare. The lost years, yeah. Which play did Shakespeare write first, David?
Henry VI, the trilogy, or 3 plays, apparently.
Is any of that in your abridged version?
Yeah, we do all of the histories. And we actually take a lot of the characters and we have them play football with each other. So it's
is that American football or soccer?
That'd be American football.
Okay, good. They throw around a skull, right?
We kind of, it's an analogy. You see, this is a lot of high art, and where we take a crown and we pass it around like a football because
we're talking to David Lynch, he and a couple of other folks will be performing the complete works of William Shakespeare at the Refresh stage at the Riverplex in downtown Newcastle. And we'll give you more information about that at the end of the segment. Well, David, how many plays did Shakespeare write?
37.
And his writing style, I just wanted to interject this real quick because it's fun to say. His style was called the metrical pattern, consisting of lines of unrhymed iambic pentameter, and that was called blank verse. That was Shakespeare's writing style. How many words, do you know how many words that he invented in our, we could say in our English language, just common words?
Quite a few I've heard. I know one is eyeball.
Eyeball, yeah. So many, we don't have time to give you the whole list, but 1,700 words Shakespeare invented for the English language.
Yeah, if he didn't have a word for something, he'd just make it up. So, that's what you got to do.
What were the 4 periods of his life as a writer? Do you know anything about that?
Not really, no. We're just dumb actors, pretty much.
No. You're very smart to take on this project. But first period was youthful love and imagination. Second period was dramatic art. Third period was the period of tragedies. And the fourth period was calm, strength, and sweetness. And I'm sure this is going to come out in a lot of your performance. All 4 periods.
There's a lot of sweetness.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And did Shakespeare know Christopher Marlowe, who was the only literary peer at that time of Shakespeare's?
They're actually drinking buddies.
That's what I've heard.
That's what.
Yeah. Mr. Marlowe was killed in a fight in 1593, just in case you wanted to know that.
Not by Shakespeare, though.
Not that. I'm glad you pointed that out. Not by Shakespeare. Can you tell me about Shakespeare's coat of arms, David?
It was. I know the motto is "Not without right."
Yeah, that was on the coat of arms. It was a black banner bearing a silver spear, and the spear, of course, was associated with the name Shakespeare.
Okay. This should have been a quill, I think. That would have been better.
Probably.
But they didn't ask me, so.
Well, back in the Elizabethan times, 1500s, 1600s, it was very important for a family to get a coat of arms. And you had to apply for the coat of arms. And his father, John Shakespeare, applied several times before they were granted the official coat of arms.
John Shakespeare was just a merchant, right? So I think it would have been, he wouldn't have just had one. He would have had to have applied for it.
Yeah, it had a lot to do with Shakespeare's celebrity that they were able to get the coat of arms for the family. He was very popular in London at the time. As we talked about, Shakespeare was born in Stratford, but he did a lot of work in London. What did Shakespeare drink, do you know?
With Christopher Marlowe, or just in general?
In general.
Well, lots of things, I imagine. Probably beer would be one of them.
Yeah, ale was popular back then. Ale and beer. And ale is a form of beer. And then there's wine, a lot of wine. They drank drinks named Malmsey, Metheglin, and Cannery. All different sweet, mostly sweet drinks back in those days.
Had a lot to drink, Shakespeare. Explain some of it.
Do you know what people inspired William Shakespeare?
I think part of it might have been inspired by the Italian tradition of commedia dell'arte, and I think Plautus and Terence had something to do with it. You had a few, you said. Yeah,
Ovid, Seneca, Chaucer. A lot of people heard of Chaucer's work. And Plutarch, which was in the A.D. period.
Right.
When did Shakespeare retire from acting, David?
From acting and not writing?
Yeah, from acting.
Just acting. It'd be 1603.
Yeah, and he lived a little bit longer past that. When did he die? Did we talk about that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that.
1616.
Yeah, 1616. And we're going to be wrapping up the program on this special presentation on NCTV45. But before we do, just a couple more items. I thought this was really interesting. Was Shakespeare really Shakespeare? And what that means is, did he do his own writing, or were there other people doing his writing for him? That hasn't been proven. You know anything about that, David?
Not really, no. I just sort of assumed Shakespeare was Shakespeare, and I don't question things. So.
Yeah. Well, an American writer, Delia Salter Bacon, questioned it. And she published The Philosophy of the Plays of Shakespeare Unfolded. That was the title of the book. And she argues that Lord Francis Bacon, probably a distant relative of hers, among others, wrote Shakespeare's plays. But as we said, that hasn't been proven. Just a little food for thought for you. Well, David, thank you for being with us. It's going to be a great performance. We wish everybody would check this out, and you got 3 chances to do it. It's the complete works of William Shakespeare, abridged, and that'll be 18th, 19th, and 20th at the Refresh stage of the Riverplex, downtown Newcastle on South Mill Street. Is there any contact numbers that people can call to ask questions, or how could they get tickets in advance?
Yeah, we have a Facebook event page for it if you go on there. Also, you can buy tickets online at www.ticketpeak.com/jester, because we're jesters. And a number you can call for information or whatever is 724-674-7999. So that is.
And this, I see, is sponsored by the Court Jesters Guild.
Yeah, that is my very, very small theater troupe. This is our first production ever. If it goes well, we're going to do more. Hopefully in Newcastle, make enliven it up a bit. So, and that's us. And
remind everybody where the skull comes from.
The skull is Yorick. He'll be joining us on stage. So you'll get to see him again.
From Hamlet.
From Hamlet.
Yeah.
Alas, poor Yorick. Right.
That's Friday and Saturday, 7 o'clock, July 18th and 19th, and Sunday matinee, 2 o'clock on the 20th. Thank you, David Lynch.
Thank you, Gary.
And let us know when the next performance is, and we'll get you back. This has been a special presentation on NCTV45. I'm Gary West. It's Butts Flowers in downtown Newcastle for fine gifts and more. Butts Flowers, 120 East Washington Street, Newcastle, with a wide variety of flowers for any occasion. Call Butts Flowers 724-652-7727 or toll free from anywhere 1-800-443-7726. It's Butts Flowers in downtown Newcastle. Make it Lanigan's Irish Pub, where you'll be amazed with the weekly specials. Pub grub, salads, burgers, sandwiches, Irish specialties, and desserts. Lanigan's has a full bar featuring domestic, craft, and Irish draft beer. You can also book a party at Lanigan's at 126 East Washington Street in downtown Newcastle. As they say at Lanigan's Irish Pub, the best Irish food since Ireland. Call 724-657-3444.
Quiet, relaxing tranquility. That's Bethy's Bakery and Eatery in Volant, Pennsylvania. But you may ask, is it a bakery or is it a restaurant? Bakery, restaurant. Well, they have cakes of every kind. And not only that, they have burgers also, and turnovers, and salads, and donuts, and nachos, and cupcakes, and cream puffs, and just goes on and on. But let's not forget, home of the plate-sized cinnamon roll. Is it a bakery? Is it a restaurant? You decide. Bethy's in Vogue.
Hi, I'm Gary West on location at Little Johnny's 2 in downtown Newcastle, right on East Washington Street. I'm here with the owner, Chris Quiera. Chris, you got a great place. You've been here how long now?
We've been downtown coming on 4 years now, but Little Johnny's has been around for over 15 years.
When you walk into your restaurant, right away you see a lot of spaciousness, it's clean atmosphere, and on every table I notice you have your menu, and that's what impresses me most about Little Johnny's. It's not just delicious pizza. He has a huge variety. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's very true. We do. We have dining for about 50. So you can come in, you can sit down, you could eat. But say you're on the go, we do delivery and takeout as well. And not just pizza. Like you mentioned, we do flatbreads, we do wings, we do strombolis, calzones, hoagies, salads. So it runs the gauntlet.
You have
whatever
soup
you need
too,
to eat.
right?
We do. We have homemade wedding soup, homemade stuffed pepper soup. So whatever your needs are, we can do it for dine-in, delivery, or takeout.
And they have great pricing. They have a lot of beverages as well. You're going to love Little Johnny's Pizza because they've been around a long time and they know what they're doing. So stop by, and what's the contact information, Chris?
Little Johnny's 2, located at 130 East Washington Street. Give us a call or stop in 724-657-2210.
Be looking for us on the road again, NCTV45.
This is NCTV45. You can watch us anytime on your time.
We're with Sammer from Mary's Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Sammer, how are you today?
Very good, thank you.
That's great. Can you tell us what kind of food you have at your restaurant?
I have lots of good food, and I have chicken over rice, kippy, gravy, lemon raw, chicken raw, all healthy food, no worry about that.
Sounds great. Middle Eastern food. And you're on Long Avenue in Newcastle.
Thank you, yeah.
Open from
6 day a week.
6 day a week.
From 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock night.
11 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Okay. We'll see everybody at Mary's Restaurant in downtown Newcastle.